Hey everybody, this is Emilio with Friendly House Investor, shooting you a video today, and I've been talking to some different wholesalers about getting comps in your area. Let's say you find a property, you don't know what the value is, so this is one of the tools that I use to find the value. I would like to say that I'm not a real estate agent. If I was a real estate agent, obviously the best thing to do is to go on the MLS and to get comps off the MLS. It's the most accurate, it's the most up to date. But since I'm not an agent, this is one of the websites that I use. Another thing too is you could always partner up with a real estate agent, and he could either run comps for you and pull a CMA report, which is a comparative market analysis report, and that pretty much gives you a breakdown of the property and all the comps in the area. Now, click on the market research tool, and I go to this website called Redfin. Now the thing is with Redfin, it's not available in every area. I'm in Michigan, so when I type in some of the addresses, it does work in my area. So if Redfin doesn't work in your area, I'll shoot another video and just try and find you some more accurate websites that could help with your comps. One of the houses I wanted to use, for example, is this property that I was looking at earlier. I got a call from a seller, and this is 32012 Gloddy or Gloetti. I don't know how to really pronounce that, but it's in Warren, Michigan here. So the one thing that I like about Redfin is just the layouts and being able to research sold comps. They have a really cool interface that allows you to look up those sold comps. So just to give you a breakdown, you have Redfin here, logo up here, you have your address here. Redfin estimate, it's almost the same thing as Zestimates, and I think Trulia has like estimated home value as well. The tricky part with this is it's based off of algorithms, and the algorithms are based off of properties in the area, and I'm not really sure the algorithms that are used to calculate the estimates. All I know is that the best way for me to see the comps is you have to compare it to properties that are either rehabbed or were sold at low cash values. So right now what we're going to do is we're going to focus on using the rehabbed comps method. So here you see the Redfin estimate, last sold price is unknown. I know that this property was inherited, so I don't think that, unless, I'm not really sure the statutes of limitations or when they show when they know the last sold price, because I know Redfin's fairly new, so I'm not really sure it has the whole history of that. Again, if you're working with an agent, they could pull comps, they could probably tell you the last amount that it was sold for. With beds, you know, sometimes it's when they pull their information, it's not terribly accurate. This one they didn't really know. I know that it's 3 beds, and then the baths, I know that it's one bath. That's it. So the one thing with Redfin, and even with different websites like Zillow and things like that, again, it's all based off of public listing data, and then also just different information that they collect. I'm not sure where they collect it, but sometimes it's not accurate, but it's pretty close. The best way to really get it is to actually go to the property. And if there's no beds there, you know, just go on the property and count the beds. Same thing with the baths. If it says 1.5, sometimes it's a little inaccurate. I've noticed that with Zillow as well. And even with CMAs, some properties I've seen on CMAs, they say it's a 3-bedroom on public record, but it's listed as a 2. Maybe they knocked down a wall to make 1 bedroom bigger. It really depends on the property. That has your square footage here, your price per square foot, your lot size right here, the year it was built. So it does have some good information, and if you just scroll down, the one thing that really helps here is, I always pass all this stuff up. Well, you could always read here, but again, it's kind of inaccurate because I know it's 1 bathroom. It says 1.5 here, but it kind of just makes like a generic description of the property. It talks about what's close by. But the one thing I wanted to focus on was the public facts. So here is where you could possibly find your legal description, but I don't see it here. So sometimes I use Zillow or I use Redfin to get a legal description when I'm writing up a purchase agreement. And then it gives you some information down here. Oh, there's a legal description right here. And sometimes Redfin doesn't have the legal description. Zillow is good for getting the legal description as well. I'll shoot another video on Zillow for that. But to be honest, if you do write up a PA or a purchase agreement and you put the legal description in, you have to send it into the title company anyways, and they do all their checks. And if they do find out that you have the wrong legal description, or maybe you need to get a legal description, you could always contact your title company and they could provide that for you. But this is something you could do on your own. And then if you scroll down here, it shows you the activity. There's been no activity. This house has been vacant for 3 years, so there's been no activity at all. It tells you about the schools in the area, median listing price, the price per square foot, estimated values, and they're kind of spot on, especially for 48088. It's 152,000 from what I've seen. I think it's actually getting a lot higher. The market's getting pretty strong right now. Everybody keeps waiting for a pullback, but prices just keep going higher for some reason. And then they have a section here for properties that are for sale, and they got a section here for the properties that have sold. And the one thing that I wanted to point out that I really like about Redfin is if you scroll up and you have a map here of where it's located, there's a section here that says map nearby homes for sale. So what I do is I always open the link in a new tab. So this is the map. This is their map of all the properties that are for sale in the area. And the cool thing about this is that you could tweak this map to show the comps. So what we'll do is we'll zoom out a little, and we'll see some houses. So these are the houses that are currently listed. Now, obviously, you can't base the value off of a property off what's listed, because the listings are all over the place. It matters what's sold. So here again, you could do your price. Really, this is mostly for people that are searching for houses that have a budget, or they don't want to spend too little, they want to spend too much. But this is kind of helpful, little filters that you could add. The minimum beds, sometimes I could filter that as well, because you don't want 2 bedrooms since it's a 3-bedroom. See, that kicks out a couple of the choices here. And then you could scroll here for filters. Now when you scroll here for filters, you're going to see right here, you have your property type. This is a house, so I'm going to get rid of all of these here. I don't think there's any condos or townhouses here. And then here you could include for sale, you do all listings, do for sale by owner, and then right here you'll see sale records. And these are the last 3 months. So they'll turn from green to blue. So blue are all the sold records. And then again, you could filter down even more by square feet, lot size, parking, year build. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click Update Homes. And what I'm going to do is I like to sort it here by price. Because what it's going to do is going to make the lowest at the bottom. And then it's going to bring the most expensive to the top. Now I believe the area range for sold comps is 1.5 miles. This is about, whoops, oh, sometimes it scrolls in. This is about, I would say, this is about 1 mile. I'd say this is about 1 mile. This is pretty good. And then sort by price, very good. And then what you want to do is, I always scroll down to the bottom. And it is still page 1 of 1. Now, the one thing to do is remember you want to find comps, and this is why I open it in a different tab, is because you want to see, and this is the house right here. If you want a better look, because this looks like it was just a screenshot from a Google drive-by, you could always just type in, alright, you could highlight this address, right click and search Google for the address, and then it'll come up right here. And I know it's a corner lot. And the one cool thing about Google Maps is you can drive the streets. I did shoot a video about this earlier this month, and what I did talk about was the one thing you want to do is focus on when you're going through the streets. Remember to focus on this in the top left-hand corner. If you'll notice, it's the last time it was shot was July 2012. It's now May of 2017. It was 5 years ago, and this is a pretty stable neighborhood. But the one thing to remember is that, especially if you're dealing in neighborhoods that are on the up and they're up and coming neighborhoods, people are buying the rundown houses and they're fixing them up. The neighborhood is changing on every 6 months, every year, every 2 years. It's definitely going to see upgrades, and it's going to have a facelift on a lot of the homes. And if you do Google Map, if you drop a pin, you have to be wary of this date because sometimes going there in person, it's going to look totally different. So this is the house here. It's a corner lot. The one thing that they didn't do is they didn't go down this street, which kind of sucks. So that's probably why they weren't able to take a shot of the front. You could always zoom in, kind of see the front, kind of take a look at it. One thing that you should notice, though, is there is no garage. It's a corner lot, nice big lot, but there is no garage. That's one thing to point out. Okay, now that you know that it's 3-bedroom, brick, you could use that to start evaluating the comps in the area. So we're going to go back here to Redfin, and I like to start at the very bottom, at the highest prices first. The reason why I do that is because the highest prices first are there because most of the houses that are sold high are the ones that are rehabbed, and they don't need a lot of work, so they're getting sold for top dollar. But you do know that it's 3-bedroom, and you also know that the square foot is 1,142. Now my training has taught me that I've been told that it shouldn't fluctuate over 12 to 15%. Let's say 15%. So 1,142 square feet times 15% is 171. So it can't go higher than 1,300, and it can't go lower than 971. So 971 and 1,300. So if you look here at 15622 Cambridge Drive, disqualified, mostly because it's 4-bedroom and it's 2-bath and it's 1,700. It's way too expensive. But it does give you a nice little breakdown. It talks about how much it's the square footage is, how long it was on Redfin. 44 days. That's pretty good. It sold pretty quickly. 1976. The lot size. One technique you'd also do is you could also look at this, read the description, and then find out if it was rehabbed or not, because you could tell if it is rehabbed, then you could use this comp as a rehab. So if it's selling for 109 square feet, even though yours is, let's say, 1,000, if it's selling for 109 square feet, just multiply the rehabbed square feet times the square feet of the house. But we're going to do this method I have here. Sometimes you have these blackened ads here, 186. I don't really know what that is. I'm not sure why Redfin doesn't have any of the pictures posted. You could always 31807 Forest Drive, 31807. Yep, and it's in Fraser. It's a different city too, so that disqualifies it. But you could always go to Zillow and see if it's on here. Yeah, see, so for I think what happened with Redfin, this was sold on March 27th. Maybe the pictures are still coming in. Maybe the Redfin team still has to upload the sold pictures. This sold for 186, and the cool thing is Zillow still shows the pictures of the sold house. Where with Redfin, oh yeah, that is rehabbed. That's nice. Where with Redfin, it only shows you one picture. So if you were to see this picture here, it doesn't show you the rehab pictures. It just shows you one picture, and that's the front shot. That's it. Pretty close to the estimate, though. Yeah, but that's post. They could have said that was 165, and then when it sold, they're like, oh, it was 187. We were pretty close. So what I do a lot of times, it's a mixture. I like Redfin just because of the layout, but Zillow obviously is a site that has some information that you could use as well. All right, so this is the city of Glady is the city of Warren, and this is Fraser, so that doesn't count. This is Fraser. Oh, these are all Fraser. There you go. Here's one. All right, and 180. This is a beautiful, and what you want to do is, let's close these out. Let's close all these windows out. Oh, darn it. I closed everything out. I'm going to pause the video. Start this again. Okay, welcome back. Sorry about that. I was trying to close all the windows because it's starting to get a little too busy. And I think I closed too many windows, and I closed the window I was in. So let's start all over again. So what I did was I adjusted the map. I noticed that I was starting to creep into Fraser, so I just scooched it over a little bit, and what it did was it shifted all of the sold listings onto mostly Warren. So if you remember, we can't go higher than 1,300 square feet. Ours is only 1,104, 1,400. Nope, sorry, 1,100, and 15% of that can't go higher than 13. So if you see this property right here, it's 2 bedrooms, and it's also 300 square feet over, so that's kind of disqualified. This one is disqualified. 16, 14. This one's borderline. This one's a little closer. So this one's a little closer. So it's a 31549 Morgan. So what we'll do is we will open this in a new tab. This one's a little closer, but it says right here, it says it's a quad. So ours is not a quad, it's a ranch. Here's one. 1,300, 1.5 baths. And see, this says 1.5 baths, but to be honest, our listing said 1.5, so it could be 1 bath, who knows, but I think that's a good one to use. This one, not so much. It's 300 square feet over. This one looks pretty good. It says 2 baths, but again, you're trying to get as close as possible. Here's one right here. This one sold fairly quickly, but this one doesn't look rehabbed. So let's just use these four for example right now. So we're going to go to 31549 Morgan Drive. Now you see here that it's 3 bedroom, 2 bath. The square feet is right. It does have one more bath, and ours is only 1.5, but realistically it's 1. But if you notice here in the back, it has a 2-car detached garage. That could be 1 car, but in that area it's mostly 2 car. And what you want to do is you want to read the description here. And then here you could read what kind of rehab they put into the property. So stunning ranch in North Warren offers many updates. So full bathroom, skylight, updated master bath, kitchen, granite countertops. So this was a rehabbed property, new carpet, new furnace. So I would consider this a good comp to use. The one thing that probably is messed up is the bathroom here and the garage. So 163. Then you got to start factoring that ours doesn't have an extra bathroom and ours doesn't have a garage. So what you want to do is when you're starting to put your estimate together as far as your rehab costs, talk to your contractor about how much it's going to cost to build a 2-car garage. I think in our area it's going to cost around 10 to 12. Maybe I would put 13, make it 13, because they probably want to put some pavers down to lead into the house. And let's see, let's go to this one, 31638. That's a nice house. That looks really nice. Nice landscaping. The roof, I don't know how newer that looks, but it just looks newer. Again, 1.5. That could be 1 because Redfin has it wrong. And then you just read the description here. Covered back patio, beautifully maintained yard, 2-car garage. It doesn't really say, oh, updated full bath and finished basement. It doesn't really say that it has granite countertops and doesn't have updated kitchen. It doesn't mean that it's not, but if it did, they probably would boast about it. So it just looks like this person probably kept their yard really, really well. And it does have a finished basement, which is huge. Because with ours, I did take a tour of it, and they did tell me before I even walked in that the basement was unfinished. But it's still a good comp, so I'd probably say 159 is a good comp to use. And again, just going through everything, I mean, you get the gist of it. Just go down, read the description. You're gonna notice what is rehabbed and what isn't. I think this last one here, Rosenberg, this doesn't look rehabbed at all. But let's read the description. Yeah, see, it doesn't really seem like it's an updated house. Clean 3-bedroom. It says nothing about anything updated. Hardwood floors, some under carpet. Yeah, that means that the carpet's still there and has to be torn out. Part finished basement. Yeah, so this property obviously would be a comp that they bought it and maybe it wasn't rehab, but it was livable, I guess. So I probably would not use this as a comp. So these are 3 good comps, and again, you might want to get a 4th one just in case. One thing that you want to start noticing too is look at the square footage here. So these are the 3 rehabbed properties. You got 126, 126, 129. So which one, just 126 plus 126 plus 129 divided by 3 is probably 127. So what you could say, if you wanted to cheat a little, 127 times 1142. You're saying that the ARV would be 145,000. Now, remember, you don't have a garage, and I don't know if there is truth in the fact that this really does have 2 baths. If this is really a 1 bath or a 1.5, so that's the tricky part. So it looks like the comps are going to be running at 145. I really believe that there's a lot more selling points to this house, and that selling at 145 is like the lowest base possible, because this is 1295, 1300, 1200. It is a little smaller value. It is smaller, but I just think because it's a corner lot, you could construct a new garage there, and I'll be honest, there's not a lot of deals out there right now. Inventory is super low. People are just clawing at properties, and they're selling really fast. Does it say how many days on the market it was? I'm not sure if that is on here on Redfin. Maybe go down here. One cool thing is you can see the listing here, the listing prices too. I forgot to talk about that. Property history. So it was listed on 154, and it looks like there might have been a bidding war on it. So it went up. That's pretty cool. Let's go down here. Let's check this one out. Wait, so how long was it on? So it was listed in February and sold in March. That was super fast. About a month and a half. This one, oh wow, November. Wow, it started at 1. Oh yeah, because they asked way too much. They were asking way too much. Someone got greedy. Someone really liked their home. Is this the home that was had a really nice landscaping? Yeah. So I would assume that this was a property that they just were emotionally attached to. They just took really good care of it. Doesn't look like it was. This is the one where we talked about it didn't boast of like granite countertops because it wasn't rehabbed. I think it was just a nice house that they really took care of. So they probably thought it was worth way more than what it was. Now let's see here. Solid brick. New door wall. New Pelestrom windows. Probably priced aggressively. Let's see if I'm right. I could be wrong. Boom. Right there. 14th and 23rd. Is that the same? It's almost the same time. That's crazy. It's listed at the same time and it's almost sold at the same time. Oh, it's sold in April. Oh, that's weird. Yeah, that's really weird. I don't know why it has it here twice. I'm still learning the system. Still learning. So if someone could explain to me why it's listed here twice, but it looks like it was these both of these properties were listed at the same time, and they sold relatively close to one another. 31st and the 23rd. But again, they were priced aggressively at 159. There wasn't no bidding up on this one though. It looks like but that's not too bad. They didn't negotiate too much further down. Anyways, I'm done talking. I could talk forever about this stuff. But anyways, that's a little breakdown of how I like to use Redfin and some of the methods that I like to use. I hope you found this video helpful. And if you did, please subscribe to it. Please like the video as well. And again, if you like this website, please share this website with other wholesalers that you know and other investors. Hopefully that we could be a hub of different websites that you need and different tools that you need. And we also have a Facebook as well. So if you go to the Facebook and like us, that would be greatly appreciated. And we look forward to giving you the next video.